All right, this is, I forgot to start my timer. There we go. This is my first, second full workout for 2024. And what I mean by that is we have, I have a goal workout and then my ideal workout day. So if you've been watching any of these videos, you've been seeing my goal workout, which is my UMS strength and flexibility training. So that's the Unified Movement System. So that's my goal workout, that in a day, I at least get my strength and flexibility training all done in one workout. My ideal workout day is that I also do a second workout with more flexibility, handstands, hanging, and flow, locomotion, flow training that I learned from my coach, Roye Gold. And today is the first day that I'm going to be getting my second workout done because I've been on vacation. My kid is on holidays from school, so I have to be a dad, and it's hard for me to do 2 workouts a day, but I should be doing 2 workouts a day from now on. So, this will be, you won't have seen what I'm about to do before, at least not in its entirety. I'll try and stop these mozzies going in my office. So this is, I do this for glute flexibility for external rotation. So I'm doing an end range contraction here, contracting the external rotators hard for 10 seconds. And then I go down into an elevated pigeon stretch because my glute flexibility isn't good. So I can't do a pigeon stretch on the ground. I'm not flexible enough for that. So this is a really good way to do it. And what's good about this is that you can elevate the bench to wherever you want. So I've got it at a 15-degree angle, but you could very easily do it at a 30-degree angle or even a 45-degree angle if you're not flexible enough. So it's pretty cool. It's really scalable for the individual. And this is really good because 15. So this keeps me really honest with the end range contraction. So my knee stays still and I lift that ankle. So that means I'm contracting my external rotators. And drop the height. Go straight into the glute stretch. If you feel it in the side of your knee, that's when you know that you need to back off. You're trying to create a level of flexibility that you're not ready for yet. If you feel it there, that's not good. That's a real problem. You definitely should not feel a glute stretch in the side of the knee like that. Okay, so now I'm onto my single arm hanging transitions, and I have to get my stopwatch on. This one, so I can time myself. This was so hard for me when I started. The idea is that you don't swing at all and that you go into a complete passive hang on each arm. So you just drop down. So this swinging, this is bad. This is a bad rep. my last training session for the week. So tomorrow, there's no training session, but I'll just do some mobility. So I'll just do the 20-minute mobility routine tomorrow. 20-minute mobility routine is like, it's a place for absolute beginners to start when they want to get flexible. But for someone at my level, it's a really good, day off routine or a cool down routine. Oh, I'm starting to fatigue. Can only do 6 seconds. Okay, that's good. That's a good set. So I'll just record my weight. That's my weight, but record my effort. I got 2 minutes. I did 3.5 minutes the other day. That was personal best for me, which I'm very proud of. And I've done 1 set of these glute stretches. It's so important to record your progress with your training, because you just can't use progressive overload accurately if you're not. And if you're not using progressive overload, then you're just not getting as good as you could be. You're not going to make that consistent progress. End range contractions should be really intense. It should be something that they cause cramps in people the first few times you do them. That's normal. If you're not going that far to end range and contracting that hard, you won't get the result. See, I'm using eccentric contractions here. So on the way down, contracting the glutes there to develop strength through range. And eccentric contractions are one of the best ways to develop flexibility and strength through full range of motion. But they're also the highest risk for injury. So isometric contractions, what am I doing? Isometric contractions are a better place to start, which is why you have to use progressive overload and periodization. It's not a good idea to just try to copy what somebody like me is doing, because I've done a lot of preparation to get to this stage. And you know what they say, prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. That's what they used to teach us in the army. All right. Okay, last set of hanging. If anybody wants to know, that's a Watson incline bench. They are the best benches. And I have no link to give you or anything where I get a commission or you get a discount code. I'm just sharing some love because Watson equipment is so damn good. Okay, here we go. Last set of hanging for this part of the workout. Got to be slow and controlled. No fast movements. Oh God, it's definitely the end of the week and I am definitely sore. Last set of external rotation, glute work. Oh, what am I doing? All right, come on. Gotta work hard. Those end range contractions, you got to work really hard on those. Whereas with the loaded stretching that I'm about to do, you work very smart. So this is, you can really cause yourself injury with loaded stretching like this. So you've got to be careful. Don't force progression. Be smart. Be consistent. Don't worry if your effort doesn't match where you want to be. You just do the work. Whereas with end range contraction, you go for it. It's hard to injure yourself with those end range contractions because there's no load pushing against you. You're just contracting your muscle at their end range. You see, you watch when I do this, there's no load. There's no load here. I'm just contracting the muscles that pull me into external rotation. So I could get a cramp, but very, very hard to actually, cause any tissue damage. Six, 7, 8. All right. Okay. Oh. Those are very good for mobility. Those ones. And this one, all of these are, specific exercises that I need, right? Everybody should work on mobility for their own body. And I've got terrible mobility in my shoulders after these slap tears that I had. So I'm doing a contract relax method.
Don't go on the grass without shoes.
You guys going out?
Yeah. Can you keep on top of it? Can you hang all the limb out ASAP in the sun?
Yep.
Please?
Sure. Yep.
And just keep washing like this.
Okay, baby. So I'm doing it. Contract, relax here. it's really tough. So you go to end range, and then when you're at end range, I try and pull into the stretch hard for 5 seconds, and then I relax, and then I pull into the stretch further for 5 seconds. Oh, and then, come on. Bloody Aussies. Really poor movement for me is hip internal rotation. So oh. Oh. You gotta really go hard when you're at your end range, and you gotta be strict. You can't go like that because that cheats it. If you're wondering why I looked at the camera just then, I have to take a freeze frame for a thumbnail. This is, people ask me when they see this move, what's this for? It's for everything. Mobility through the whole body. I feel it the most in my shoulders. But it's for ankles, hips, back, like thoracic spine, and for me, especially shoulders. And I've lost count. I'm meant to do 10 reps. I'm just going to stop after this one. I think that's a PB. I don't think I've ever done 5 of those before. This is handstand wrist prep, which is really important because our hands and wrists just aren't designed to take our body weight like they need to in a handstand. So we have to strengthen them. All right, that's all my mobility and conditioning work done. So now it is time for handstands. And I always start with a face to wall handstand as a warm up before I do my free handstands. So just 1, 30-second hold. Warm everything up. Get that line going. That last handstand workout that I posted, I haven't looked at myself do handstands for a while, and I haven't been consistent for a while, and my line wasn't good. I was piking a lot, which means I was bending at the hips too much. So let's see if I can clean that up today. I've had a lot of ups and downs with my handstand training over the years. Because when I started handstands, I just didn't have the strength, mostly the strength and the conditioning in my upper body. And I really wasn't prepared for how tough it would be, how demanding it would be trying to do handstands 6 days a week. And so I had some significant injuries. Most notably, I had a wrist injury in my carpals up here, the little bones in your hand, and I couldn't put any weight on my hands like that for about 6 months. That was really tough. And then the most significant, I had a slap tear. So my second slap tear was doing handstands, and that was very significant. But so for me, I really put handstands on the back burner as something that is a nice to do. Like if I ever get the time, I'll just do some practice. So I never saw any really consistent progress with it until recently. Recently, I've had a few wins, but I spent the whole of last year really focusing on building muscle mass and strength in my upper body so that I could do all this stuff this year, hopefully without any injuries, and make some really good progress. So I'm really excited to see how this year goes. You know, I know so much more about it now, and my body feels good, so let's see. So you can see I haven't even, of course I can't check my line yet because I'm doing the workout right now, but I don't have a consistent hold time yet, but one thing that's major improvement for me is that, at least in my first couple of sets, or first couple of attempts there, I can save a lot of handstands that I would have lost in the past. Like you could see a couple of times I really was about to lose it, but I shifted my body and got back up. Couldn't do that before. I either had it and I could balance for a little bit, and if I lost it, that was it, or I didn't. So that's progress, you know, and progress is what it's all about. that was tough, but oh, I forgot to change the zoom. Couldn't see what was going on with my legs. Oh well. But that was better. There was a couple of times where I was really losing it there, but I saved it. I didn't use the wall, well, for a couple of them, and I got a longer hold. So much going on in the handstand, you know. You got to make sure your shoulders are stacked over your hands. You got to make sure you're not, extending at the shoulders. You got to try and really keep that shoulder flexion going. Keep your glutes engaged. Pull your core in a little. Make sure your legs are together, knees are straight, stacked above your feet. Like it's quite it's really intense, really tough to do, which is why the face to wall handstand is so good. And I've spent a lot of time on the wall, and I'm still doing, I do 6 handstand days a week, 3 of them all sets on the wall, 3 of them free handstands like this, with 1 warm-up set on the wall. And it's good, it's working well. A lot of just turning up and, doing the work and being humble, not worrying if you don't feel like you're making progress, not getting frustrated, not trying to force it, just turning up and doing the work, and enjoying the process. Which is all we've really got, right? Life is a process. The destinations are usually far more empty. If you've ever achieved a goal, anything, could be that you bought a new car, you buy a new car, it's incredible for the first couple of days, maybe a week, and then you're like, it's not that fulfilling to have that new car. It was getting it that was what the big deal was, Let's zoom out this time so you can see me. Woo! See, and then sometimes it all just comes together like that. That was a good set. For me, you got to recognize, like, anybody could pick that apart. Anybody, I'm sure that any trolls are going to look at it and go, oh, your line's not like this or whatever. But for me, that's good. I had a slap tear in both shoulders, and it was only a couple of years ago that I couldn't even, there's no chance I could even attempt a handstand. It would have made my shoulder worse, So to go from that to this, that's really good. I'm really happy with that. And then another way to look at it is, I'm 45 now. That was round 3, I forgot to record round 2. I'm 45 now. I couldn't do that when I was 35. I couldn't do it when I was 25. So that's really good. Getting better as you get older. I turned 46 this year. I had one of the dads at Avoca Beach who was, I think he was 32 or 33, and we were down at the beach and age came up for the first time. And I told him how old I was and he couldn't believe it. It's funny. It's funny what the norm is, as people age. It's up to you whether you want to be, in that bracket of the norm, or if you want to be in that bracket of outside the norm. I know where I want to be, considering what, you know, the strength and flexibility and health and body composition of the average 46-year-old dad is. I definitely don't want to fall into that bracket. And we're aging. We're an aging population, so we're living for longer now. We're having kids later. I mean, my son's only 6. He turned 7 this year. I had him when I was 39, so I was much older than my parents were when they had me. So I want my later years, when my son's growing up and hopefully getting married and hopefully having kids, I want to be really capable, because I'll be much older than my dad was when that was happening for me. So it's up to me, it's up to us to be that person. I couldn't save it. Definitely happy with that. That was a good session. All right, time for locomotion and flow. Oh, well, that was the first set of 9. Flow is tough, and I barely practiced it last year because I just had to make a decision of where I was going to put my time. I didn't have the time last year to do 2 workouts a day every day. I just couldn't do it. So I decided that my strength and flexibility was most important, so that's what I doubled down on. And I had a great result. Put on 7 kilos of muscle, it's about 16 pounds, and maintained flexibility, overcame niggling injuries, and now this year I'm getting back into some flow. One thing I love about flow is that it's kind of free cardio training. A really good flow workout gets the heart rate up. That was round 1 of 3. And I'm doing 3 different flow movements in today's workout. So, okay. Round 2. I was so bad at this move when I started. As goofy as I still look when I'm doing it. When I started doing this, when Roy first taught me, I was so bad at it. For the same reason that I was bad at the planche, and because it uses the same strength, that straight arm strength, protracting and pushing. Fuck. Straight on a fucking rock. Sharp rock. Oh. I found the sharpest fucking rock then. Probably should get a broom down here soon. There's been a few storms, I think, and blown some of these rocks over here. Alright, here we go. Alright, last round. Here we go. I'll show you something cool. I know how much everybody overseas loves the creepy crawlies of Australia. So you can see where I'm training, right there. And if we go here, that is the whole of an Australian funnel web. And so is that. And so is that. And if I keep showing you around, there's just as many more. And that's the world's most deadly spider. Look it up. A bite from a funnel web can kill you in under an hour. So that's fun. And I woke up one morning and went to do my dips here, and I looked up and there was a funnel web right there. Big bastard too. All right, last set, and then I'm on to my next exercise. Oh, there's something immensely satisfying about getting to the end of the final workout for a week. It's a big achievement for me. I always feel really satisfied and proud. Okay. What's next on my program? Touch 4, release 4. All right. This is a good one. Tough, but good. Let's make sure the camera's set up, so. Oh. Oh. It's hard at this stage of a workout to stick to your rest times. It's really easy to start looking at social media and things that distract you. One of my big goals, like upon reflection on last year, like one of the big things that I can improve is I found myself looking at social media between sets, and then I'd check my rest time and I'd been resting for 4.5 minutes when I was meant to be resting for 2 minutes. So my goal this year is that I only keep the UMS app open. So, and the good thing about doing these videos is it's helping me with that. Because I think I should talk to the camera between sets instead of looking at social media. But man, like that looking at social media between sets, that was killing me with my productivity last year with my workouts. So that's one of my lead measures, you know, something that I can manipulate in real time that I know is going to impact my goals and move me closer towards them. Just to tell you what, you know, the feeling of getting better with movement is such a good feeling. It's like nothing else. You're feeling yourself being able to do things you couldn't do before. It's just so cool. Oh, I'm feeling it now. It's the accumulated fatigue. It catches up with you. That's why rest times are so important, because it's a part of a progressive overload. And if you don't stick to your programmed rest times, you just don't get the same results. So that's why I, you know, have my timers on between rest in my app so that I'm being honest. Okay. Come on. Okay. Okay. Coming to the end of round 2. One more round to go. Almost. One more set for round 2. Okay. Okay, come on. That was good. The more controlled, the less clunky, the less of that with any flow, the better. Oh. Oh man. Make sure none of those funnel webs are coming to get me. Okay. All right. Getting there. Giddy up. Feels so much better now that I don't drink alcohol. I can't even say the word properly, alcohol. Honestly do. It took me so long to give up. It was such a hard habit. So socially acceptable. But now that I don't do it, I just feel so much better. Ah, oh, shit. Ah, come on. That's it. Really fatigued at this point. But only one more set. And then I'm on to my last flow movement for the workout. Good times. Okay, here we go. All right. 3 rounds of this. It's actually a really nice, cool day today here at Avoca Beach, which is very refreshing because at 2 p.m, the middle of summer, it can be really, really hot. And it is brutal doing these workouts in the blistering summer heat. Such a good feeling though, isn't it? You know, when you get your workout done as you intended it to. You know, every rep, every set, whole thing, you feel good at the end. Last one was shit. I was trying to do better to transition onto one hand before the other hand comes down and then transition off that hand, which is what I'm meant to do, but so much to think about. so many things that I'm working on to make it the way that Roy is telling me to do it. Okay. Oh man. One round down, 2 to go. Hey, tell me if you watch this in 4K. I'm curious, because I've never uploaded so many 4K videos before. I wonder if they're being appreciated or not. Definitely getting better. I don't fall as much as I used to when I was doing those. And I'm keeping in more of a straight line, and I can feel my hands working on the ground better. I don't feel as weak and imbalanced. It's good. Progress, progress, progress. I'm so happy I've got something to track my reps in now, because I couldn't do this before. I used to always forget how many sets I'd done and which set I was up to. All right, here we go. Oh. Okay. All right, let's finish round 2. Let's get there. Those were shit reps. But that's okay. I am right at the end of this workout. Come on, stick to the timer. Get it done. can see the quality just dropping now. You know, it's all about just getting that volume and building up the load tolerance. And oh, I'm really fatigued now. I think I'll go and have a smoothie after this. With some eggs and protein. I've leaned up a lot in the last month. I've changed the way I've been eating because I've shifted my focus from just building as much mass as possible to, well, still building muscle mass, but not at all costs. Wanted to get leaner for this year so that I could do flow and handstands easier. Totally cooked now. So tomorrow there's no workout for me tomorrow, so it's just going to be mobility and foam rolling and stuff. So I'll still do a video for you guys. I'll still upload for you what I do on my days off. Just mobility training and some trigger point release. Oop. That's my wife. All right, last round. And that's all she wrote.